Welcome to Sam's Russian Adventures. I'm Sam, an English guy living in provincial Russia, and today I've come out into the countryside to the road where my house is being built to have a little chat with you about a time when I was scammed in Russia. And the reason that I'm telling you about this today is because I've been made aware of somebody else who's come to Russia and been scammed. I'm going to talk a little bit about them, the circumstances that they found themselves in and how we can possibly help them, and also just to highlight how dangerous it can be and to make sure that you don't get scammed if you want to come to Russia too. Here, hidden away, camouflaged, you can see the house that I'm building. Let's go up there, sit down and carry on with the video. So I just want to say again why I'm making this video today. And it's because a lot of people are coming to Russia right now, and whether you like it or not, there's going to be people out there that are going to try and take advantage of the fact that you don't really know anything about the country you're moving to, and you don't know the language, and you don't know the customs, and you don't know the culture. And so while you're in that stage, the chances of you being scammed is pretty high. Now, this isn't because it is Russia. It's going to be the same in pretty much any country in the world if you move to that country and don't know what's going on in that country, right? So it's just really to warn you guys. So what happened to me? Well, when I first moved to Russia, I'd been here a few months and I decided to buy a car, and I bought a Lexus GX 300, a black one with gold badges. In fact, GX, yeah, it was a GX, not the GS. So it was a Jeep. And I really loved it, and it was brilliant, you know, absolutely amazing car at the time, you know, really cool. And I was driving around, I was really happy. So after a few days of me purchasing it, the company where I purchased the car called me and said, "Sam, we have made a mistake with your insurance. You've paid too much. Come and get your new insurance policy and we're going to give you some cash back." And I was like, wow, so incredible, because these people who had been at the you know, car selling place, whatever it's called, the salon, well, they've been really nice to me, like best friends, you know, and they were giving me cups of tea and, you know, just being generally over the top nice the whole time while I bought the car. And I thought, wow, it's continuing. These guys have, you know, called me to say that I've paid too much money. How incredible is that, right? I really love these leaves. Do you like them as well? I'm sure you do. How they change colour in autumn. Beautiful. So I went back to the garage where I bought the car from, and they said, "Here you go, Sam, here's some money. You've been charged too much. We felt really bad. We've given you this money back, and here's your new insurance policy." So I was like, wow, thank you so much. You're really good people. I had my Russian friend check over the policy, and he was like, yeah, everything's fine. It's exactly the same as before. So that was that. And then I was driving around. I was happy. Everything was brilliant. Until one day, I returned to my car, and my car wasn't there. I was like, I don't know if you've ever had your car stolen before, but you're like, I'm sure I parked it there. Maybe I'm just going insane. Maybe I've parked it somewhere else. What's going on? But no, my car was stolen. So I called the police, and we went through all that procedure and stuff. And then I thought, well, you know what? I'm not really that bothered because my car's insured, right? And I've been driving it for half a year and get a new car now. So I looked at my insurance policy, and hang on a second, the insurance policy, the dates had been changed. It was no longer a yearly insurance policy, it was a 6-month policy. And lo and behold, 5 minutes after midnight, when the policy finished, my car was stolen. Do you hear that? Tell me, what can you hear? I tell you what, you can't hear anything at all apart from my voice. Absolutely perfect, just silence. Oh, dogs barking. And now this was the early 2000s, and this was quite a typical thing. In fact, most people didn't even get insurance on their car anyway. And so cars were stolen, and what would happen is you would get a call from the criminals saying, "We have your car. If you're willing to pay this price, then you get your car back." And of course, that's what happened to me. But by that time, the police were involved, and the police said, look, we know that you've met the people about getting your car back and paying for it, and we want to give you money that you will give to them, and then we'll arrest them for, they'll have the rights, we'll have the serial number or whatever it is on the money. And I was like, I'm not going to go through all that. No way in the world. I just want my car back. I don't want to risk my life. I don't want to get killed. This is crazy. I don't want to get involved in this. And they said, well, if you buy your car back, then you're involved in it as well. So you're going to be in trouble. So in the end, I had to lose the car. So I had a car for literally 6 months and I lost it. That was it. Game over. So why did this happen to me? It was because I was an easy target. I was a loch, as what they say in Russian. This is someone who's just easy to take advantage of, an easy target. In America, you'd call him a mark. Just easy to take advantage of. And people see you coming from a mile off. And because you don't speak the language, of course, it's easier to fall for these traps. Now, this whole insurance scam has finished now. People don't steal cars like that anymore. It's all changed. But you can just as easily fall for any type of scam if you don't understand what you're reading when you're signing a document. And it's really bad, but you can easily get scammed. And it's not a Russian thing. It's anywhere in the world. If I was to move to Spain and I don't speak Spanish and I don't understand what I'm reading, then you can also get scammed. And of course, the people that are scamming you, well, they know how it works. They're extra nice to me. I mean, the people who sold me the car, they were incredibly nice to me. Incredibly. The service, what's it called in English? The car place. Blimey neck, I can't remember English words, right? Where I purchased the car, they were making me cups of tea. They were incredible. They were really nice. When the car was stolen and I went back and said, what's going on? They were like, we've never seen you before in our lives. Get out of our showroom. And of course, the longer you've been here, the less chance it is that you will get scammed. But scams are everywhere, not just in Russia, but everywhere around the world. But people that are looking to scam people, they're very clever. I mean, even when I had my house built, we went over the contracts like with a comb, basically. My lawyers looked at it, my friends looked at it, everyone looked at the contract and said, yeah, everything is solid with the house. But my friends warned me. They said, the company building your house will leave something out of the contract, something that you don't know about, so that you will pay more money on top. That is how it works, and you have to be prepared for that. It's going to happen to everyone. So I was like, okay, I wonder what's going to happen. And everything seemed fine until I found out that the wood stain had not been paid for the wood in the contract. The colour had been chosen. I'd paid for the wood, but not for the staining of the wood. And therefore, I had to pay an extra 300,000 rubles for the staining process to be done. And so there you go. You can always fall for scams. And with the housing, my friends pre-warned me. They said it's happened to everyone. It will happen because house prices change. The price of raw materials changes all the time. And so you'll sign a contract for a house at one price, and by the time the company's built it, they'll end up paying a bit more for the same material that they would have paid for at the beginning. And so they need to recoup a little bit of money. And so they will try and find a detail to leave out of the contract so that you will pay a little bit extra afterwards. This is an amazingly beautiful area at the end of my road, opposite my neighbour's house. I was gonna say that it's peace and quiet here, but then a dog started barking. So again, I want to say, I'm not saying that this is a Russian thing. This is something that could happen anywhere in the world. And you let me know in the comments, what's the most common type of scam in your country where you are living? Have you ever been scammed? Or what is the type of scam that most scammers do to people that aren't aware. I bet people that work in like the housing trade or the plumbing trade or like auto mechanics, I bet there's loads of scams that go on, because most of the people that order these types of services, well, we're clueless, right? We don't know anything about them. And so the opportunity to be scammed is pretty high. So this brings me on now to a video I watched the other day of an American family from Texas who moved to Russia and also got scammed. So from their words, I've been speaking to them, and they've told me that they invested some money through a third party who promised them that it was a short-term loan. They invested the money with that person, and the person basically never repaid the money, and they lost out on 5 million rubles. The smell of autumn is here, and it's absolutely amazing. And so from what I understand from this family, they signed contracts, and despite actually talking about and agreeing with the whole proposal that it was a short-term loan, the contract says it's a long-term loan, and therefore legally it's legally binding that the money is tied up in a long-term loan, and will they ever get their money back? So essentially somebody basically said to them, look, give us money, we'll invest it for you, we'll give you dividends, and you'll get your money back soon. And then they took that money, invested it long term, and these people have been left with nothing. It's a likely chance that they will never receive that money back, because these people have lied to them to get them to give them basically their life savings. And they've now been here for a year living in awful conditions, absolutely awful conditions. And what I want to do is to direct you to their video. I'll put the link of their video underneath so you can go and check out their story, because it's pretty heartbreaking. Now, I've been speaking to them today about it, and I think what I would like to do for them is to help them, and I've set up a Patreon page, and you can go and you can support them, you can donate. That money will go to them to help them to solve this problem that they're in. After watching their video, you'll understand exactly what kind of situation they're in now. Their goal is to resolve all this and then to move to another city and to rent a building with their family and to set up a business there and to start living their life. But they're going to need your help to do that. So if you can help them, then the Patreon link is below. And then also go and check out their channel. Go and check out their channel, understand their problem, because they're really in a really horrible situation right now. And the reason that they're in this horrible situation is the same: contracts. If they were living in an English-speaking country and these people had said the same thing to them, they would have signed a contract with them and gone through this whole process, but they would have been able to read the whole contract. And so despite being told what the contract says something different to what they were told, and therefore they've been an easy target for people who are looking to scam them. And so there's a couple of channels at the moment out there on YouTube that make everything in Russia look easy. Move to Russia, everything is just plain sailing. And this kind of like portrays Russia as just being this really easy place to move to. And while it is a great country full of opportunities and there's so much you can do here, there is a learning curve. And while you're on that learning curve, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. And that's why I've made this video today, because I want you to come here and I want everything to go well for you, and I don't want you to end up getting scammed or to lose money or anything of that nature. So anyway, that's why I made the video. Hopefully it was, well, I don't know if enjoyable is the word, because, you know, there's nothing really good about today's video. But I'd really appreciate it if you click the link below and watch the video from, you just go click the link and you're going to see and understand and learn their story. And then also consider donating. I've set up the Patreon link. All of the money will go to them, and we can help them to escape the situation that they're in right now. and to move forward and get their life moving forward so that they can actually start to enjoy living in Russia.